Okay, so the
So
first
did you guys?
the question we're discussing, it just says, put yourself in the shoes of the Brentwood Associates management and decide whether you want to exit now, and if so, what's the best exit option. And so the options were do an IPO now, sell to a strategic buyer or financial buyer, or to wait and grow the business until it's more valuable before exiting. And that's kind of what me and Vincente both agreed on.
That's what I think too. Did you guys download the document I sent?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we took a look at that.
So that'll have your other
For the
that's prep questions, except for the two about valuation and stuff. So you know
Okay.
what, they may be questions. Oh no, they're not. Kind of though. Wait and grow the business. Put yourself in the shoes of grow. So I guess number 3. Yeah, it's pretty much the last question in the prep questions.
Yep.
And so we all agreed that we think that they should wait and grow.
Yeah,
Yes.
they'll be able to fetch better valuation and better money doing that, especially
That's what I thought.
they have such good traction right now.
So, okay. So I think we're good on that one. Number 4.
So that one's going to be, as a group, allow each individual to state their position. If you all agree at the outset, take a counter position, explore where you should consider those options.
Well,
So we all,
that one, what was that?
so we all agreed. So I guess the counter options. I mean, the other counter option I see is to sell to a strategic buyer or financial buyer, just 'cause they kind of have the attention of some people looking at them right now, and I think they'd be able to sell pretty quickly if they wanted. If they wanted to get out and make a sale, it would be not effortless, but it would happen. I mean, pretty fluidly for them.
Well, I mean, I think that they gave some really good reasons why they should go IPO now. And I mean,
I think those two options to me are actually equal.
look good. I mean, if that was a decision that they chose to do, I think that it wouldn't be like, I wouldn't be going, nah, I just really think you shouldn't do that. I'd be going, well, if that, it's kind of one of those things that you're just going, really, they're all kind of good alternatives. It's just, I'm a cautious person. So that's why I chose wait and grow.
Yeah, I was saying, well, part of my decision for the wait is when at the bottom of page 2, where it says they rely on leverage to generate tax savings and force management to downsize bloated expense structures. And he says, that's not us. We're growth oriented, always have been and still are today. That was why I kind of picked the waited out as the best option. But I think the other two are pretty much equal in my book as far as, I think they're all good options, but I think waiting it out, at least as far as I'm concerned, is the best option of them.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that, like I said, what do you think, Vicente? What other option do you think was a good idea?
Well, I think that if we return to the question 3 and to wait and then exit with a IPO, I think they could, how to say, to have better offers and investment. Yeah, and that's what I think that maybe the best about this part of question 4. My position is that he is going to have a better business or a better option of exit if they wait and create more a bigger momentum. No.
Right.
Yeah, I think they are looking that, because like Mike said, they want to, like entrepreneurs, they want to how to say, to have to grow the business. No, they don't want to
Right.
only the money.
That's what they want, is they want it to grow so they can get the money. The more the more it grows, the more amount the more kickback they get.
Yeah, I think that is the best option, and that's the reason about why they want to wait. They need to wait, and then to make an EPO.
So it says that to discuss what can go right under each scenario and what can go wrong, and I think we pretty much did that. I mean, like I said, each one of the scenarios could work for them, but they all could go wrong for them as well.
Yeah, but
they all have their risk. If they hold on to it and then something happens and they lose their valuation that they have now, then they're not going to be able to sell even for what they would currently, if they don't grow like they expect to or like they have been.
yeah. But also, if you saw with the last scenario about let the business grow and then exit, that is a scenario that I think that maybe some things can be grown, but let them to handle in a better way, to manage in a better way. Sorry, no, to manage the error in order that they can have an advantage of that.
Right. I'm just doing this very, very quickly and simple so I can just send it back to you guys.
Perfect. So are we pretty set there?
Yeah, I think so. It's good
Yep.
enough. I mean, it just really says to discuss it. We don't have to like answer anything.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the hard one, guys.
Yeah. So how much is Zoe's worth under each exit option? Discuss how you got your answers and come to a consensus of what they're worth. What differences did you observe on who buys the company? Does it make sense? And why would anyone sell to a financial buyer instead of an IPO? So that's an interesting question. So my valuation, I kind of said it already, I've heard a general rule of thumb is you take 3 times the revenue, a year's worth of revenue, and that's kind of your valuation for the company. So if you do $5 million a year, you're looking at a $15 million valuation. I don't know how that changes based on IPO as opposed to private buyer.
Okay, how did you say you did that? You times the revenue by 3?
Yeah, that's kind of just like a general, really.
The ending year revenue of the previous year, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, the only time that's not true is like if you have an outlier year. So let's say for some reason your normal revenue is $2 million, and that's what it's been for 5 years, and you have 1 year where it's $7 million. You don't get to just jump to $20 million valuation. You kind of average those out.
So what number did you come to?
I came to about 330 million or so, based on the $100 million in Exhibit 7.
I think that sounds about right because it said that on page, is it page 2? I just saw it.
Yep. In page number 9, in the last paragraph, you can see when you make you make a private sale. Yeah.
No, that's not what I was looking at, but it said somewhere that I just barely saw that. This is going to really, really bug me. Something about them getting 313 million or something, but I don't know what that. I can't remember what it was.
Okay, let me search.
You guys, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I hadn't read this, and I made my 16-year-old daughter read the case to me while I was driving. And then, like, while I was answering the questions, obviously I was like reading through it again, but.
All right.
I know that it said that they secured a $2 million line of credit from GE, but I swear that there's something about 313 million.
Here is in page number 8. It's in the second paragraph. No, sorry, in the third paragraph, where he said about the Jobs Act notwithstanding. Sorry.
Let's see.
Direct expenses would be 10 to 13 million.
Yeah, there are expenses associated with the IPO.
Yeah, that's not what I thought I saw. I'm really bugged because I can't find it now. I wonder if it was like on the first page.
Let me see.
I guess I should probably put on my glasses so I can actually see.
No worry.
Okay, this one takes us a little bit longer. We did pretty good blazing through the first two questions, so.
Well, this is one where we have to sit there and stupid crunch numbers.
Yep.
Zoe's had revenues of nearly 80 million. Is that okay? Oh, maybe that's what I saw. Noodles had revenues of 300 million. So
even at 80 million, you're looking at 250 million. Maybe that's a little high, but 250 million.
And it said that they were expected revenues of approximately 115 million in 2013.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think 330 million is a pretty good number. What was the first number that you used? Where did you find that number?
For which one? For which part? I just went to Exhibit 9 where it gives kind of a balance sheet, I guess, of sorts.
The ones in the back?
Yeah, or Exhibit 7. Sorry, not Exhibit 9. Exhibit 7, where it details Chewy's, Noodles, and Zoe's Kitchen.
Yeah, the comparison table, no?
Yeah, yep. I'm trying
On what page?
to read it sideways. I wish they wouldn't flip the pages like that.
I hate it so bad.
It's in page number 17.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't go off the total revenue. Instead, I went off the revenue before franchise fees. I mean, the franchise fees don't make a huge difference, but.
So this is where you got, that's how you figured out the valuation, huh?
Yeah, I mean, that just
What
from what I've learned, that's like the simplest way to do it, kind of on a really rough average. And so that's kind of what I've always done.
Yep.
I mean, at the end of the day, something's only worth what somebody's willing to pay for it. But
if you take the average of those 3 years, then
you
are
80 or so.
Yep.
So if you do that times 3, that puts you to about 240.
What you're doing. Yes. Yeah, I can see you totally being intense. What differences did you observe in the valuations based on who buys the company? Does this make any sense? Discuss as a group. So I don't even know where you would find that.
Yeah, I'm sure you're supposed to use the charts in Exhibit 8 and Exhibit 9 and the other pages and stuff, but I mean, as far as I know, it doesn't. I don't know. I can't see anything that would change the valuation based on who's buying it or whether you go IPO or not.
Okay. If you are talking about a strategic buyer, yep.
Yeah.
Then if you saw the Exhibit 9, you have there the average that is about 8.4. And if you compare that with a financial buyer, it's that is 11.1 of the average. Yeah. Then you have the you have a difference there. No, maybe okay. 11.1 minus 8.4. That is a difference of 2.7%.
I get what you're saying. The strategic and then the financial. Let's see.
In the Exhibit 9, in the number 9, in the page number 19.
I couldn't quite figure out what you were looking at because I was looking at it. But okay, so yeah, the average for the strategic was 8.4, and the average for the financial was 11.1%.
Yeah, and if you saw, there is a enterprise value, that is the valuation. Yeah. You have the trailing revenue and the trailing EBITDA. Sorry. These are the interest before interest. No, sorry. Earnings before interest. No?
Yeah.
So then, answer to that question, would it be that it looks like the the financial, what is that word? Acquirers?
Yeah, this is
Acquirers?
yeah
It looks like the financial acquirers are willing to pay more, give more money.
yeah the financial you are going to get more money. Yeah,
By about, in fact, I guess if you would just minus 11.1 by a percentage of,
if you can also took the 11.1%, but it's better if you took the median, sorry,
and why is that?
because the average is only the about the. Do you remember a statistic when you take the population you have there and the sample that you have there, and you are only have some of them, but the median is going to illustrate that you are going to have a normal distribution, and it's more frequent the median, and you can how do you say um, how do you say that? I don't remember the word.
I don't know.
If you remember that the median shows how the population, the behavior of the population. No, because
Yeah.
you have here a sample. If you saw, you have here a sample. No, about the strategic buyers and financial buyers. No.
Okay, so I just said it looks like the financial acquirers are willing to give a higher valuation by about 2.5%.
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, that's good.
That's the
And
regime.
how does this make sense to us?
Well, people that
Like,
are
how does this
financial buyers, I would think, would be willing to spend more money than strategic acquirers, because the strategic acquirers are looking for the play that they can kind of get in on, on a little cheaper level to make a bigger gain. Because
Yeah.
it's a
they're
strategy.
looking for a deal?
It's just like the stock market almost, where the financial guys are going to be people that, they've got money that they can just dump into it and hold it there, basically like a savings account. And if it grows, it grows. If it stays stagnant, that's fine too,
Yeah. That's right.
So yeah, to me that it makes sense that their offering, I guess, would be a little bit higher. Now compare that to an IPO, because it says, why would anybody sell to a financial buyer as opposed to an IPO?
And also say that if you take IPO, then you need to be careful with the investors and all with the communications that you have with them, and also if that is going to diminish your value, because each time that you are going to report something, yeah.
Well, there's that, but I also think a large part of it has to do with the fact that IPO comes with a pretty, a set of costs, where I don't think selling to a financial buyer doesn't have those same costs with it.
Yeah.
Because it says the one-time direct expense would be 10 to 13 million, and then expect to have $1 to $2 million annually in recurring costs. So the big reason to sell to a financial buyer is you don't have those costs. You get your money and you get out.
Yeah. You want to save the
So what was
money.
the reasoning? Sorry, I was typing up the other one.
Oh, that's all right.
What
So the reasoning is on page 8. It talks about if you were to do an IPO, that those direct expenses associated with it would be 10 to 13 million as a one-time cost.
Yeah.
And then the ongoing costs of being a public company are about $1 to $2 million annually. So you're looking at a lot of money being spent to do an IPO, where if you did a financial sale, maybe you wouldn't get as much money up front, but it wouldn't cost you that money in the long run.
Yeah, because it's a recurring cost, no?
Yep.
So the IPO is a one-time large cost.
Well, the IPO, so it's a one-time large cost plus $1 to $2 million annually as far as those is concerned. So it's a big upfront cost plus recurring costs, where the financial buyer wouldn't have those.
Also because the business is no they don't have those revenues or the earnings, no? they are going to have they are going to decrease their earnings each time.
Yep.
No?
Okay. I just put if you do an IPO, the expense for Zoe would be a one-time large cost plus $1 to $2 million annually. Where with a financial buyer, you wouldn't have that.
Yeah. So I think that would be probably one of the only reasons if you weren't, if you were looking to get out, that would be the reason to do it, because you don't have those retainer costs of the legal fees and the auditing and the exchange listing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm gonna email this to you guys now, and we'll discuss. I guess in order to give a timestamp, we'll just discuss again why we think that they should choose to wait.
Cool. So my thoughts on that is higher valuation, more money, more growth. That's what they say they're all about, is the growing, is the growth aspect. So to me, it just seems like it makes sense and it fits with the direction they're already kind of set up to go.
You make that the valuation grows, no?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And like I said previously, I'm pretty cautious. So I would want the company to be in a really good position before I tried to make it go public, because it talked about how if there was a chance of a fail, it could be devastating for them, for Brentwood, and for Zoe's.
Yeah.
So
That's at the risk, no?
I think it's a good idea to wait.
Okay.
Perfect. Was there any other opinions or any other thoughts?
No, I think
we did that fast. That was awesome.
Cool.
So
I'll go ahead and stop.
I'm going to